Good morning, everyone. Master new skills and stay ahead of the curve. Jai Hind and a very warm good morning to one and all present here. Under the extreme guidance of Dr. Nikhil Srivastava Sir, Principal and Dean, Subhati Dental College and Hospital, it's my honor and privilege to welcome you all to the Subhati Alumni Lecture Series. I, Dr. Ruchi Seni, Associate Professor in the Department of Orthodontics and Dentofacial Orthopedics, delighted to introduce today's enlightening session led by our distinguished speaker, Dr. Vaibhav Mishra Sir. Dr. Vaibhav Mishra Sir serves as Dean Academics, Postgraduate Studies, and Professor and Head, Department of Orthodontics, DJ College of Dental Sciences and Research, Modinagar. He is also an adjunct faculty and co-supervisor at Maulana Azad Institute of Dental Sciences, University of Delhi. A proud alumnus of our own prestigious Subhati Dental College and Hospital, Dr. Weber completed both his undergraduate and postgraduate studies in orthodontics here only. Beyond academia and clinical expertise, he has a keen interest in 3D printing and has been actively engaged in research on this technology for the past 7 years. His PhD research in 3D printing was supervised by Dr. Dimitra Kadara from the University of Athens, a pioneer in the field. Dr. Vaibhav also runs a private practice, Gums and Braces, in Meerut and is the CEO of V-Align, a company specializing in manufacturing of precision medical and dental equipment. He has been honored with multiple national awards by the Indian Orthodontic Society for 5 consecutive years, 2016 to 2021. That includes Best Research Award in iOS 2021, Professor T.N. Chawla Memorial Award for Best Presentation 2019. He also holds several prestigious positions: editor of the Journal of Orofacial and Health Sciences, executive committee member of the Indian Orthodontic Society, chairman Study Groups Coordination Committee, co-chairman Society Registration and permanent head office committee iOS, member Public Awareness and Social Media Committee iOS. Additionally, he has played key organizational role in the iOS, organizing secretary in 57th Indian Orthodontic Conference and 14th PG Convention 2014. Treasurer in iOS Media Convention Center 2011, Chairman International Student Exchange Program 2018 to 19, Executive Committee Member iOS 2015 to 16, 18 to 19, and 19 to 20. He is also worked as convener in Merit Orthodontic Study Group. Now I take immense pleasure in inviting our esteemed guest, Dr. Vaibhav Mishra Sir, to enlighten us with expert insights on intersection of 3D printing and orthodontics. As technology continues to advance, 3D printing is the way we approach dental care, offering new possibilities for precision, customization, and efficiency in orthodontic treatments. Today, we will explore how 3D printing is transforming the field of orthodontics, from the creation of personalized appliances to the development of cutting edge diagnostic tools. By the end of this session, you will gain a deeper understanding of how this technology is shaping the future of orthodontics and improving patient care. This is a highly relevant and rapidly evolving topic, and we eagerly look forward to learning from his vast knowledge and experience. Welcome, Vaibhav sir.
Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Thank you, Dr. Ruchi, for such a elaborate sort of introduction. I don't think so. I deserve it. More than that, I would be loved to known as a Swarthian in this lecture rather than anything else. Thank you, Nikhil sir, if he's in the audience, for giving me this opportunity. My teacher, Dr. Raghav. Subharti is what I am right now. Uh, we evolved from a very distinct. I was having a talk with Atul sir today morning, and just remembering where we started our journey in Subharti from. I was in Subharti from '97, I suppose, to 2014, and after that for my PhD. So you can take the person out of Subharti, but you can't take Subharti out of a person. So same applies with me. I am one of the most important lectures in my life. As an alumnus here, I have lectured all over the world, but this remains very special to my heart. Thank you for the opportunity. Now, if Raghav sir has received the PPT, we can start, or I'll just get an introduction. How it's a webinar, or we have a interactive audience, Dr. G?
Sir, you please start. It's a webinar, sir, not interactive.
Any panelists inside?
Question and answer session in the end, sir.
Okay. So, what I've been told to talk about is 3D printing in orthodontics. And before the presentation comes, I'll love to interact about what made me into 3D printing. I started 3D printing in 2000, I suppose, 16. I got my 3D first 3D printer in 2016. It's a very, very wide scenario, not only for orthodontics but for clinical practice. My presentation today would be basically inflicting on different types of scenarios that you need to have when you are getting a 3D printer or you're going into 3D printing. In orthodontics, normally 3D printing is associated with in-house aligners. But ask me personally, 3D printing is something which is now a household thing, and if we know what we are printing is very, very efficient and very, very good for us to work upon in our practices. uh, Before the presentation starts, normally I tell this in the mid of the presentation. My journey started when I was just flicking on Amazon. I thought I saw a 3D printer and was reading a lot of things about 3D printing, and I bought that 3D printer. That was a FDM 3D printer, and once I got that, I came to know that it was of no use in dentistry. So I normally dedicate my lecture to how and when and what you should have to be into printing in a dental clinic, be it prosthodontics, be it orthodontics, or any other space. I mattered to have visited the 3D printing facility in Subarthi, and I was very, very sort of encouraged by seeing the type of facilities you have here in Subarthi Dental College. We never had that because might be at our time the technology was not that in, so we had the harder way out. But any students who is listening to me from Subarthi, I would always request them to go there and see the technology, read about that technology, and be adverse to what the current scenario in 3D printings are. Sir, can we have the presentation now? I don't think so. I can share it on my part. I would request Raghav sir if he can display that presentation. By the time the presentation comes, let's talk about how 3D printing evolved. So there was a guy by name of Charles Hulse who started 3D printing, and he's got a very good company by the name of 3D Systems. I have a printer of theirs in my clinic, and he started 3D printing. 3D printing is nothing but a layered manufacturing. It's something like you put layer after layer on the structure to print it off. Like we have printers, normal printers at home, which do two-dimensional printing on a paper. 3D printing is something like which gives you an object into three dimensional. So similar to what a difference between a OPG and your CBCT has. So when I started this 3D printing, it was very, very effective in convincing people. When you can print the case results and tell them, so that actually sort of uh, gave a impetus to my practice that everything what I'm doing, I can actually tell the patients that this would be the result. In orthodontics, normally 3D printing is related to aligners, but I also do it for braces treatment, and patient sort of patient conviction that they can get the real feel about what the end would be. I'm daily waiting for the presentation to go on the floor. I've sent that to Raghav sir. I suppose it should be here in time. And it's a webinar, so I think it cannot be interactive. I would have loved to have questions from you guys regarding thing. 3D printers are of many types. In dentistry, what we use are SLM, DLP, and basically the base of dentistry 3D printing is resin printing. Now you can have direct aligner printing as well, and DMLS, that means the metal printing. Metal printing is also playing a very important role, but I personally feel that in clinics you can't have a metal printer because they're way too costly for the economics of a clinic. And I normally shed the trouble out to the third party and get the metal printing done from a third party. I have SLA and DLP printers with me in the clinic, and mostly all the printing is done there. If you go on the process, I suppose everybody of you would be knowing, but I'll just remind you. It's like you have two types of scanners. One is intraoral scanner, the other is the lab scanner. So if you are intraoral scanner, you don't need any impressions. You take a digital impression of the patient and directly send it to the software to get it corrected. And if you have a lab scanner, then you take the impressions and scan that impressions with byte and send it to again the same software. And at that software you do all the corrections you require. It can be restorative, it can be implant, it can be aligners, a lot of options you have. So you can actually get these things done, and once the result is done, you send it to the patient. If he's satisfied, he or she is satisfied, he says okay to you, and then you start the printing, be it direct printing of the aligners, be it the model printing. So once you're doing it, you need to know how the printers are, what accuracy is the accurate, what accuracy of printing are you doing? Because at the end of the day, when you give the prosthesis, the aligners or implant, anything you give, the accuracy matters a lot in all these things. So there are different type of printers. When you are buying a printer, you need to know what type of printing it is. It's a open printer, it's a closed printer. Open printer is which can take any amount of resins from other companies to print. A closed printer is which has specifications of resins that they need, and they can apply on that printer. So I normally advocate, though I have a few closed printers, but I normally advocate that you should have a open printer in place. Raga sir, if you can hear me, if I can I have the PPT on the share, please? I think there's a delay. So coming on to the next point, uh, resins. What type of resin you're using? If in orthodontics you need to have the model resin, there are almost like 17 type of different resins that you need to have while you are printing anything. And again, you need to decide what sort of economics you want to go in. If it's a direct printing aligner, the resin can go up to say somewhere about 54,000 rupees a liter, and um, an open system can have something like 2,000 to 3,000 rupees a liter. So you need to decide what is the accuracy, what type of resin you want, and what is the customizing part of that printing. Again, when you're printing, especially for aligners, I can say that Hollowing has a very very important part. Hollowing means that when you're printing, the printer has an option whether you need to just print the outline or you need to put the resin inside. So most of the labs which you are getting things done normally hollow the print and get the models to you. Hollowing of the print means that there is nothing inside, it's just the outline of the print that comes to you. The disadvantage for that is once you are compressing it on a thermoforming machine, it might distort. So it's always better that you fill the print of the 3D printer fully so that the compression and the distortion is not there. Though it takes a call on the money side and the resin occupancy side, but I think it's worth it always. And if you're getting it from a lab, always tell them also that okay, you can charge me extra, but please don't distort my print by just doing a hollowing of the print. Once you're done with this, there are different type of thermoforming sheets for aligners. You need to decide which thermoforming sheet you want to have, and accordingly you can get the things done. Another thing which I actually had a issue with when I started my practice as a in-office aligner was the finishing of the aligners. And these days I very rigorously step into the act of telling you that finishing in a clinic is very difficult. Either you have a laser cut that finishes your liner good, or otherwise you'll have a lot of time spent on doing things which are not worth. So you can always once you as an orthodontist or as a dentist, the main part is the planning and the fabrication of the aligner. Once the fabrication is done, you can always send it to a third party to get it finished properly with a laser cut and packed and get the liners packed or the printed material packed. It makes a lot of difference when you deliver it to the patients. I get it packed on a third party assignment as for now. And other than resin printing, if you're going on for say your metal printing, screws, pedo people, and pedo is drastically involved. Pedo ortho people would have been going for expansion, and if you want very good expansion on, say, a skeletal scale, then getting a customized expansion screw done is very good. And I normally encourage my PTs to do it, plan that particular screw themselves on a med mix. If I have the presentation, I can show you that how you plan on a medmix. It's a free software. We plan our all the cases for expansion screws, customize the expansion screw on that, and then we send it to DMLS printing. The metal centering is done, and you get the exact screw back for your patient. The results are drastically different from a common screw, especially like a one not jack screw, but even with Herex. And you can put in lobules to get them screwed to the pallet and get the true skeletal expansion done with them. So these are different parts of sort of different parts of 3D printing. Then coming down for aligners, you need to plan them. But I don't know how many of you have planned an aligner system yourself, but even if you're doing for good companies, but no intentions of any forwarding, but even if you're doing it, they are doing the planning for Invisalign, you need to see how many movements what you've done, be it three shapes, Invisalign, or any other software. You need to see what are the black spaces. Might be that you're planning to get that the amount of movement done, which is practically not possible with the liners. So at the end of the report, you normally get a black space schedule if the black space schedule is there, then you know that these particular movements are very difficult to get, or might be they won't occur at all. So these are some things that you need to take care when you're planning aligner systems. Then there are different type of scanners. They can be lab scanners, as I told you, uh, and lab scanners, your intraoral scanners, and now we've come to facial scanners as well. You can have facial scanners, uh, so you can actually sort of uh, recognize the facial patterns that are changing. Good for patients, for predicting them with what would be the end result of the treatment. I think we have our intraoral and this lab scanner in Subharti, but I don't think so. You have a facial scanner as per now. And if you don't have a facial scanner, you can have softwares which do soft tissue prediction. These soft tissue predictions can be very useful for you once you are into the planning of the thing. Once the planning is done, you need to just check on what type of results you have, and the once the prediction is done, you can anytime tell that, see, this is the accuracy of my treatment. But even the best of the results, right from your any prediction, uh, can be only 85 to 90% of what you predict. So you have to have corrections. I always put in a slide if the presentation comes off. In my aligner system, I plate like six aligner plate. I give six aligners to a patient, and after that, I rescan or take the impressions to see what results I've got from them. And once these results are done, we can actually see how much effective our aligners are. So, and if there's something left, we can replan it in the next six sets. The problem of, or I can't say that a problem, but the major reason for aligner failure is that people tend to put all the aligners in the hands of the patient on the first go. That, okay, this is the day, and we will give all the aligners to the patient. It is not. It does not work like this. Be it any company, you have to monitor the patient. The biomechanics does not change. As an orthodontist, all the orthodontists or the PG students who are listening, the biomechanics does not change. It is just like traveling from Meerut to Delhi. Which car do you want? The origin and the destination never changes. You can walk it off in a Maruti 800. You can walk it off in a Rolls Royce. So only the car options are changing. If you say that aligners will do a different biomechanics, I'm sorry. So once you're giving a liner, you need to know that these are the things I have to cover it off into and take care of. Be it the attachments, be it the liner movement, be it the amount of time what the patient is wearing the liner for. So it's basically a very difficult field to have once you are sort of doing liner treatment. Align materials differ a lot. You need to know what sheets you're using. Uh, I think I have somebody from Subharti who's doing a case study on the type of things. Uh, Other than this, I like to, again, it's a webinar, so I don't have an option of having your response. You know how the idea of an aligner germinate? It was basically a case of relapse. A person who had done orthodontic treatment for him twice had a relapse, and his name was Zia Chisti. He is the current. Okay, now I think I can have my slides here. That's the scanner classification I can see. So Zia Shishti started Invisalign, a company at that time not as Invisalign, but I always try to convince people
Excuse me,
and
sir.
so yeah, ma'am.
Sir, which page number you want from this?
Any page number, ma'am. I've been talking,
Sir,
ma'am. You
it's
can
okay.
You can start from here now. Actually, we will be just changing the slides
sir,
from here on.
sir, this is a scanner system I've already discussed. Can you get me on the starting? I'll just rush through the presentation.
Okay, okay.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So see, I always tell one thing to people that always travel the road which is less traveled. And in Subharti, right from starting, when I joined Subharti, it was in Lokpre. Atul sir has always walked the path which was very, very less traveled. And that is why this institution is here. I'm a great fan of his. I was talking to him in the morning, and I must say that he is one of the reasons that many like me, not only me, many like me, thousands of people in Meerut are what they are because he gave us the opportunity to be there. Ma'am, can we just change the slides? How can I change the slides from my side? Next,
Because
slide.
the PPT is with us.
Dr. Rushi, can I control the slides from my side?
No, sir, no, sir.
You just tell that next
Ah,
Tell
slide.
the
next. Can we have the next slide, please?
yes, sir.
Next. So that's a different presentation. This one. Huh. So again, back.
Back.
This, but one back. Yeah, this one. Now, this is a very common slide you'll see in my presentations, and I emphasize on this because we, as an orthodontist, when we go into dentistry or into orthodontics, we are tamed basically to see the world our way. And there are lines which my guide used to tell me: the mind doesn't see, the eyes don't see what the mind doesn't know. So a rhino will always see the sculpture of the world with his horn in between. And that is what we need to change in life. So, getting into the technologies, you'll have a lot of people saying braces are the best. I still believe that braces are the best, but yes, aligners are not an advocacy for braces. They are a treatment modality for people who are not ready for braces. So we need to change them accordingly. Can I have the next slide? Next. So when Dr. Kessling started this. This is just the what I was talking about, the founder of Invisalign. Next. Now, again, this is a very favorite slide of mine, not related to basically the education, but see, this particular photo has four people, four identities, I suppose. In it, it's a Fiat car for people of my age would understand, a Bajaj scooter, a Yamaha motorcycle, and Mr. Amitabh Bachchan. So, out of these four, three failed to transform in India. One transformed. So transformation is very, very necessary. Mr. Amitabh Bachchan transformed him from for the new times. Yamaha, Fiat, and Bajaj did not. So they are lost identity now, and he is still in phase. That is it. Why I'm telling you this, because that implies to you in your practice. If you don't change the way you practice, the way you talk, and the way you manufacture things in life, it is you will be history very soon. So transformation in life is very, very necessary. Can I have the next slide, please?
Yeah, last.
Can I? Yeah. So my transformation started when I was in Korea for 2 months. This was the clinic of my friend. I was working with him. I went for a lingual course to Daegu, and this gentleman was very, very cooperative and allowed me to work in his clinic. And it was then that my transformation in 2015 started. I came back. I started with my practice with all the 3D printers and everything. People used to joke about me at that time that what will you do with 3D printers in Merit? But I think with God's blessings and inspiration of Atul sir, I've been doing pretty good. Next slide, please. Again, the same thing. The eyes don't see what the mind doesn't know. A famous line I learned from my guide. Next, next. Again, digitization clinics, once you go into the field, be it you, I don't know if I have a BTS audience as well. When you're going into a field, your degrees don't matter. What matters is your impression and the way you work, be it a specialized work or be it a general work. So, your skill and workflow are important. If you think getting a digital clinic will replace them, I'm sorry. They'll help you out with that. But the man matters. The person who, I'll not say man matters, a man or a woman matters who's sitting on the chair and doing the treatment matters. So you should be very well versed with the technology, but should not give the clinic in the technology's hand. Just like Vishwanathan Anand, he's my all time favorite. Mind Master, one of the books I really advocate everybody to read. How to get best in your work. Next slide, please. That's a CAD CAM flow. I've already told you that you either you have impressions or an intraoral scanner, and these things happen. The next slide would be, I think, the aligner things. Next slide. This is aligner flow, which I've already needed. Told you. Next, please. Now, what do we need? Scanner, software, printer, accessories. So you need to work on this. How good you are with selecting a scanner for you. You will get a scanner for say 3 lakh rupees and you'll get a scanner for 21 lakh rupees. How do we need to choose it? Then the software, which software we want to use. Then the printer, what type of printing we want to do, and the accessories related to them. We'll talk about the accessories later. Next slide, please. So these are the type of scanners I told you. Two of them are, I suppose, in your college. Third is right or no. Intraoscar is a very common thing. Next. Now, this is what intraoscular scanners we have in India right now. I have two of them. I use a Itero and I use a Trios, and they're pretty good. Both of them pretty good. Next. Now, going on to the classification, you can classify them into two systems. One is the tier system, tier two, tier three, tier two, tier one. Tier one is a scanner which is able to complete their time bound. कौन कितना जल्दी स्कैनिंग कर रहा है. Next, please. The next classification is on which is more important for us as a dentist. Ki what all we get with the scanner. So there is a class C. The manufacturers offers the scanner only. So you have the scanner. You don't have softwares with them. Class B is which is most advocated for orthodontists, which has a software with them. And class A is which also has a milling and everything facility available with them, like a SRAC. So, as an orthodontist, I think Class B is good for you. If you can afford a Class A, it is good, but the cost matters. They start from 3 lakh to, I think, not even 3 lakhs now. They give it to 2.5 lakhs, and scaling up to something around about 50 lakhs. So, you need to decide what are your clinic advisories and what you want to get out of the scanner. Next slide. The same classification in the figure form. Next, please. These are the common things, common scanners. The last slide was the common scanners. Now, what I actually next please, I'll go to the next slide. Now, what I see in a scanner before buying it: the speed, the acquisition, and the intelligence. We talk of lot of things, AI. The buzzword in healthcare is AI. Go to IIT, get the AI thing. What is basically AI? It is artificial intelligence. Artificial intelligence is, why is it required for your scanners? But I don't know whether you've observed it or not. I got my first connect with AI back in '97 when I bought my first digital camera. It was a Kodak camera and it had an auto mode. That auto mode basically senses what are the surroundings, what is the ISO you want, and it clicks the photograph accordingly. So that was the starting of AI. Now it has evolved over the years into very, very great things. So, and I always tell, why is these companies which are coming to India so economical in India? Otherwise, you'll see a lot of, when anybody into practice will see that summer vacations, people coming from US, Canada, Europe, getting their liners there here. Why? Because we there are pros and cons, but as a population, the pro is that we have the data that nobody else in the world has. So these AIs want to do a lot of cases in India so they can get their predictions and efficacy right. So anytime when you're planning a company to give your aligners or your data to, just see how good are they with their AI and their software backup. It's very, very important. So this is these are the 3 points I see, and that is why I bought these two scanners. They have a very good AI system in at back. Not advocating that you get them, but whenever whatever software you're getting, just see what is the AI value of that particular software. Next slide, please. So this is again a depiction of what are the all these scanners you are they are available in India right now, and what all things they offer. You can have a screenshot of that. I don't think so. I need to discuss that. Next. Now, again, these are the scanners which are very commonly used, and what I want, especially the PG students, to understand is that what is the difference between their working. Even the people who are selling it to you might not be able to tell you what are the differences in the technology of that particular scanner. So Itero, I have a Itero. Itero is comes from a company by name of Align Technology. It works on confocal microscopy. Itero 5 now has changed its system to same as multi-scan technology. Three shapes. Trios is working on multi-scan technology from starting. K-Stream works on structured light, and these are the basic three systems on which most of the scanners work. So once you're taking a scanner, you should know. If I tell you what structured light is, it is an intraoral scanner using structured light technology projects a series of patterns into the surface of the teeth. The deformation of these patterns is captured by the camera, means they take a negative output out of the scanning they are doing, and they create a 3D model out of it. Conofacial microscopy is focused on light source to illuminate small spots. When they'll throw the light, illumination will be on the spots, small spots of the tooth surface. The reflected light is collected by the sort of a scanner or a ID, and the structure is made out of that. The best out of them is multi-scan technology. I'm speaking. You can change the slide because I forgot. You can change the slide actually. Next slide would be the description of these things. Next, multi-scan technology again has two parts: image acquisition and multiple perspectives. In the start form, they collect a lot of images. Once you do the scanning, they collect a lot of images. Then they software on a real time algorithm analyzes and combines these stages, and after that it stitches. Next slide, I think that's on the next slide. Stitching an element takes place. They stitch that particular image into well-being, and then the data integration is done. So this is one of the best methods of scanning as for now. Trios and itero 5, I suppose, both are working on this. So there are a lot of these are the two. Yeah, we've got the slide. So these are the two of my favorite scanners. Uh, Three shapes, Trias and Intro Itero. I have both of them with me, and these are the comparisons between the both. Now, intraoral scanner market has increased dramatically uh, in the last 10 years, I suppose. You can change the slide. There are a lot of analysis I've put. Coming on to lab scanners, these were intraoral scanners. I use a W3E3, sorry, WE3E3 lab scanner by 3 shapes, 3 shapes, which I have. Very good. These are the next. Can you just change the slide, please? So you have 3 shapes, you have master link, you have west dental wings and noble mental, which are available right now in India. And these are the configurations you have with all of them. You can take a screenshot for that. Again, the properties, I'll just skip through. This is the scanner app. Coming on to the accessories, very necessary when you're buying a scanner that you negotiate for the accessories, because these don't work on different things without the accessories. Next slide will show you the E3 accessories, I suppose. Yeah. These three of them are the accessories of the scanners, which are very important, and the advantages. Next slide, please. Accuracy, speed, easy group practice. When you initially starting and you think you don't have the money, you can have a group of people investing into a scanner, have a remote facility which works for all. So it's very suitable for multi-clinic purpose. That is why I've started this. 3D printing, again, most of the things I've already discussed when the presentation was not there. Adaptive manufacturing, rapid prototyping, layered manufacturing, things are the same. This is the gentleman I was talking about, Charles Hulse, the founder and CEO of 3D System, and the uh, actually the person who started. And now these are the type of 3D printings you can have. The red ones are related to dentistry. So again, I'll tell you, SLA DLP we talked about. Polyjet is what I did my PhD on. DMLS is metal printing. One thing which is very special to my heart is the FMA printing, FDM, which you call fused deposition modeling. The first time I got my 3D printer was FDM printer. I never knew what is to be used in dentistry, and it's a filament printing station, only good for printing your basic models and things, not very relevant to dentistry. Next slide, please. Can I have the next slide? Yeah. So these are the 5 types of printers I have. Not I have. I work on. I said DMLS. I don't have a DMLS printer. So these 5, and the third one is just a showcase in my clinic. Next is what all you can do. Next slide, please. These are the things you can do with your 3D printing application in the dental clinic. Next. Now, can we shift? Can we shift these slides? This is the cost. I think in a college this does not matter, mostly for practitioners. DLP and SLA, they are the basic printers you'll be using in college. Now, this is one slide. Just go to the back slide, please. Yeah. Now you need to understand. No, not the cost. Next one. Yeah, yeah, this one. You need to understand how a resin printer works. There's a head, there's a tank, and a liquid or the resin in that, and in a SLA, there's a laser point which works, and in a DLP, the same thing works with a projector. So when you are buying a cheap printer, cheap in the sense, if you're economically looking into a printer, try to get a SLA, because the laser light quality does not matter. If you're getting an expensive printer, try to find out what the projector value is. It's very important for the projector value. So this is the basic difference. Not many people will be able to tell you, even your people who are selling you that the printers to you, that what type of printer that is. I'll just let me go through. Inkjet is again, polyjet printing is very good. You don't have any post curing problems with the polyjet printer. Um, there are different type of things. Can we just run through the slides? They can take these screenshots. Next, next. Yeah. So this is a DMLS printer. History of DMLS printing, very good for your screws, especially for ortho and pedo people. You can get customized screws done.
वो होल्ड से अलग है, खत्म हो गया। मैंने बोल दिया उसको, खत्म करो। लास्ट कौन बोला बोलने की? बेटर चलेगा। पापा
There might be some network issue. We'll sort out in short while. Are you there, Vaibhav sir?
रिमूव हाँ
आ जाएगी,
अब देखो
ज्वाइन करना पड़ेगा। I think there might be some problem in connection. So the today's lecture has come to an end, and its session was truly enlightening and filled with the invaluable insights. As we conclude today, I extend my heartfelt gratitude to esteemed guidance of respected Dr. Atul Krishna sir and the visionary leadership of the late Dr. Mukti Bhatnagar ma'am, the founder of Swami Vivekanand Subhati University. I would also like to take a moment to thank young and dynamic CEO Dr. Shalya Raj ma'am, whose innovative approach and leadership continue to elevate our institution. And the thanks goes to our Vice Chancellor, Major General Dr. G.K. Thaplyal sir, for his constant guidance and encouragement. I would also like to thank Dr. Nikhil Shrivastava sir, Principal and Dean, Subhati Dental College and Hospital. His visionary leadership has played a pivotal role in shaping the academic landscape of Subhati Dental College. A big thanks to esteemed guest speaker, Dr. Vaibhav Mishra sir, for sharing his valuable insight with us. And I'd also like to thank Dr. Pradeep Raghav sir for his efforts in providing us with the opportunity to engage with the knowledgeable speakers. I would also like to thank all of the organizing team, Department of Orthodontics, and faculty members, students, and especially the IT department of Swami Vivekananda Subhati University for ensuring the smoothness conduction of today's lecture. Lastly, I extend my gratitude to wonderful audience for your presence and active participation. Let the spirit of learning and collaboration continue to flourish within the walls of Subhati Dental College. Thank you. Jai Hind.